What's going on, everyone? In today's session, let's go over the mean value theorem, okay? And what the mean value theorem says is that if you were to get a function, right, some function f of x represented by some math equation, right? Let's say this is 3x squared plus 2x, okay? The mean value theorem says that if your function fits these first two assumptions, right, that f of x, one, is continuous on the closed interval going from some value of a to some value of b. So let's say you're considering this function on the interval, right, going from 0 to 3. Okay? And so in this case, a is going to be 0, b is going to be 3. Okay? So given that your function is continuous on the closed interval from 0 to 3, and 2, that your function is also differentiable, right? The derivative exists on the interval at all points between 0 and 3, right? A and b. Then the mean value theorem says that there exists a number, right? Some number c on that interval that you can calculate using this equation. And so let's actually work this example out so we can see what we're talking about. Okay? So your original function is f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 2x. And we're considering it on the interval going from 0 to 3. Okay? And so function, interval. All we're doing really is filling in, right, given that the first two assumptions are satisfied, and we know that we satisfy those conditions because we are working with a polynomial, right? So hence, because this is a polynomial, we know that it's going to be continuous and differentiable, right? And so let's consider our interval. So in order to calculate this value c, right, that's what we want in the end. We need to essentially just fill out this formula, okay? And so in here, what do we have? Well, you need to evaluate, right, your original function, this, at some value b. In this case, it's going to be at 3, right? Subtract that from what you get from evaluating the original function at x is equal to a. In this case, that's going to be x is equal to 0, right? You're going to divide this by 3 minus 0, and you're going to set all of this equal to the derivative of this function, right, f prime, evaluated at x is equal to c. Okay, so let's start filling this out and let's see what it looks like. So let's do these first because these are the easy ones, right? So original function evaluated at b, right? In this case, our b we said is 3. So evaluate at x is equal to 3. Wherever you see an x, replace it with a 3. So 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? So this is going to give you 33. Now let's do the same thing for the original function evaluated at a, or 0. 0, right? Multiply anything by 0 is 0. So 0 plus 0, that's just going to be 0. Now let's look at this term, evaluating the derivative of this function at x is equal to c. So we need to find the derivative, right, of our function and evaluate it at x is equal to c. Okay, so let's do that. The derivative of f of x, right, the shorthand, is equal to the derivative with respect to x of 3x squared plus 2x. We know we need to distribute that. So using the power rule, derivative of 3x squared is exponent times coefficient. 2 times 3 is your new coefficient. Keep your base there. Subtract 1 from your exponent. 2 minus 1 is 1. X to the 1 is the same thing as x. I'm just going to leave it like that. Now, plus the derivative of this term, 2x. So 2x is the same thing as 2x to the 1, right? There's like a silent 1 up here. So 1 times 2 is your new coefficient, 2. Leave your base there. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything raised to the 0 is 1. So x to the 0 is just 1. So this becomes 1 times 2. So that's just going to be 2. I'm going to remove this. Okay, so here is your derivative of your function, right, for starters. And now let's evaluate this thing at x is equal to c. So wherever you see an x, replace it with a c, right? So now you have the left-hand side of this equation. Now let's just plug everything in, right? So f prime c, we said is 6c plus 2 is equal to the function evaluated at b, 3, right? That's going to be 33, minus the function evaluated at a, which is just 0, divided by b minus a, 3 minus 0. Okay? And so in this case, let's simplify. 6c plus 2 is equal to 33 divided by 3, which is 11. Subtract 2 from each side. That gives you 6c is equal to 9. And you're going to get c is equal to 9 over 6. And you're welcome to keep simplifying to 3 over 2. Okay? But I'm just going to leave it like this for the sake of looking at how to solve for our value c. Okay? And this is going to be your final answer. And so just a quick recap. Given some function f, in this case, I gave you this math equation, right? And we wanted to first check to see if our function satisfies these first two assumptions, that our function is continuous, right? On the closed interval, some closed interval from a to b. In this case, we said from 0 to 3. We want to check if it's differentiable, right? On the open interval from 0 to 3. And because we have a polynomial, we know that our function is both continuous and differentiable. Given these two are true, we moved on and we wanted to solve for some number c, right, that falls on this interval, right, that can be solved by this equation. And all we did was look at the parts we needed in this equation, and we just plugged in our values once we were able to calculate all of those. Okay? So let me give you an example, and then you can work through it yourself for a second, and then we can work through it together. Right? Okay. So if I gave you the function 10x squared plus 4x plus 1, okay? This is your function, and I want you to evaluate this on the interval from 0 to 2. Okay, so function, interval, okay? And use the mean value theorem to assess this. Go ahead and pause the video and try. Sweet. So when you approach this problem, right, we said that the first thing we want to do is check our function to see if it satisfies these first two assumptions, that our function is continuous and differentiable, right, on the interval from a to b. In this case, the interval that we're considering is 0 to 2. So a is 0, b is 2. And this is f of x. All right. So because we have a polynomial, right, we know that f of x is both continuous and differentiable. So let's move on to step 3 and see if we can solve for this value c. Okay? So just to write down, actually, we don't have to rewrite it. Let's just refer to this over here, okay? So the parts that we need are the original function evaluated at point B, right? In this case, that's going to be 2. And also your original function evaluated at A. In this case, is 0. So let's do those first. So the function evaluated at b is going to be 2. So 2 squared, right? You're going to put in 2 wherever you see x. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 10 is 40. Plus 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1, that's going to give you 49. Now let's evaluate the original function at a, right? We said a is equal to 0. So wherever you've seen x now, put a 0. This becomes 0. This becomes 0. This is 1. So it's 1. And then let me write that out just in case, just to practice working with functions. Plus 1 is 1. And so now we need to evaluate the derivative of our function f of x at x is equal to c, okay? So we need to evaluate the derivative of our function, right, at x is equal to c. So what does that look like? F prime x, this is the shorthand notation for a derivative of f of x, is equal to the derivative of this entire thing. So let's go term by term, right? Derivative of the first term. Use the power rule. Exponent times current coefficient. That is your new coefficient. 2 times 10 is 20. Leave your base there. Subtract 1 from the exponent. 2 minus 1 is 1. X to the 1 is the same thing as just x, all right? So I'm going to leave that. Plus, next term. 4x is the same thing as 4x to the 1. There's a silent 1 here, right? Because x and x to the 1 are the same thing. 1 times 4 is your new coefficient. 4, leave your base there. Subtract 1 from your exponent. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything raised to the 0 is 1. So x to the 0 is just 1, right? And 1 times 4 is just 4. So I'm going to remove this x. This is just 4. Plus the derivative of 1. 1 is a constant. The derivative of a constant is 0. Okay? That's just 0. So let's evaluate, right? This is our derivative now. Let's evaluate our derivative at x is equal to c. Wherever you see an x, replace it with a c. 20c plus 4. This is the left-hand side of our equation here, right? Now let's plug everything in. We're going to plug everything in and solve for c, because that's what we're trying to find, right? So you have 20c plus 4 is equal to the original function evaluated at b, which is 2, minus the original function evaluated at 0. So you have 49 minus 1 over b minus a, 2 minus 0. All right, and then all you do is simplify and solve for c. So 20c plus 4 is equal to 48 divided by 2, which is 24. Okay, subtract 4 from each side. 20c is equal to 20. And so in the end, we get that value c that we're talking about, right, is 1. Okay, and you can check it because 1 is on the interval between 0 and 2, right? 0 and 2, or simply on the interval from A to B, right? 1 exists, right? And this value is the c that they talk about here. There exists a number c in that interval that can be solved by this equation, and you just proved it, because c is between, or it's in the interval between A and B. Okay? So I hope this helped. If you got this fully, good job. If you need a little more help, totally fine. Just go back and look at the parts that you need. Okay? And if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right? Sweet. This was the mean value theorem.